Hello my penguinos. RecCon, surprising no one, is back for the year of 2022. Is it good? Well, was 2020 good? As this year is more of the same. Like last year, I'll try to go through as much as I can, so that means I won't cover everything. Due to my sanity. Whatever is left of it, at least. RecCon 2022 is an event by Rec Room in Rec Room. It went on for September 22nd till the 25th. You can guess of what year. Only having one free item this year, which is the black RecCon hoodie, with an additional 10 costly items, which is the Forbidden and Forsaken Bubblies, both for 1,100 tokens, the RecCon 2022 Bubbly and the free RecReal shirt, all for 900 tokens, the purple and orange guitars for 15,000 each, finally the purple and orange RecCon fanny packs for obscene 1,200 tokens each. RecCon 2022 did the same approach RecCon 2021 did, of if not broke, don't fix it. Apparently nothing was broke. On top of that, you were given the choice to join Team Orange or Team Purple in the entry room. But why would you do this? Well, you could take a group of friends into many RecCon rooms and the room would change into your team's color, as long as there aren't more members of the other team. I think this happened once, but the purple was Z fighting with the normal black floor. I was also given the Forbidden Bubbly for being in the purple team after RecCon, perhaps due to the purple team having the most players. There was also stands around RecCon. Do we know what they do? Apparently they just give you a RecCon Bubbly. RecCon Hubs. Well guys, it's the same hub as last year's, but now black. And last year's was the same as the year before, but orange. But oh wait, the bouncy castle is now a concert stage. Ooh, the Venn diagram is enlarging. This is so exciting, it's something they promote as one of the big new things in 2022's RecCon. Same thing for the inside, but they made the purple and orange stripes for the RecCon logo wall. That is the most change they've done, and this Venn diagram is enlarging quite a bit. Art exhibit. I don't need to change a single part of my script because, oh wow, it's just like last year's. It's a nice inclusion, but it's not much. Nothing really amazing, eye-catching, or out of the ballpark. They're all good, don't get me wrong, but when everything is good, nothing is. That made no sense, but it all blends, you get what I mean? There's nothing outstanding, but there's nothing bad, making the entire thing Souvenir Hall. It's good, better than last year. I like the screen next to the door, very nice. Just waiting on the ability so I can piss around with it. I like it, it's just really small. It has some creative stuff, but I would just prefer, you know, for it to fill the massive gap with either more inventions or Rec Room actually does something and add some decoration themselves. AFK Room. It's the same as last year. There is absolutely nothing to say. I think the sound effects in you? I don't remember, because that's how forgettable the AFK room is. Like I said last year, there's no point for it. Yeah, it looks nice. It's a nice room, but something new, or just not having it at all, would be great. Look, if you want to go to sleep, if you want to AFK in RecCon, here's a amazing idea. Open your watch, and click the dorm room button. You want to come back to RecCon? Right when you come back, why don't you go on your watch again and click RecCon? There's no point for it. There's no point for that room. Speaking of things that would be great if it didn't exist, Cosplay Park! This mess again! It's not too bad this year. Oh, believe me, it's bad, useless and unnecessary bad, but it's better than last year. There's better costumes, same exterior map though, same amount of costumes, and the same amount of worthlessness. You don't need it. Get rid of it. Expo Halls this year are the only thing I really cared about following up RecCon for an unspecified reason. Major say instead of the usual 5 Expo Halls, they just kind of murder inventor and renamed portfolio to creators. Creative classes, 3 rooms. Medieval Fantasy was the best booth. It looked good. Funny empty booth. It's a nice expo hall. It's just forgettable. As forgettable as the sequence. Artist Alley, 8 rooms. There's some nice glass panes and some nice landscapes. I like the sketches. The drawing animation was nice. How the entire booth aesthetic was nice. Not the best expo hall, but still quite good. There's a lot of high quality art, but it feels too much like last year's. Hell, it's so similar. People started just copying from last year's RecCon. But wow, POW didn't use the same booth for the 3rd year again. Yay, wow! clubs with 9 rooms. And for God's sake, pal, this Expo Hall is actually quite fun. Simon says it's the most interesting and interactive thing I've done in this entire convention. Also, this is better than any other year because I actually joined the club. Also, may I just say, I wrote in my notes, show Kanye East picture and put real in impact. Also, I thought we were safe from having border maps in RecCon. Apparently not. 3 funny empty booths. No way, guys. No names booth this year. Wow. Creator has more than half of the rooms of all of last year's Expo Halls. Granted, it's a ratio of 31 and 25, but it's still quite significant. By the way, the background music for the Expo Halls is starting to get annoying. The animations were nice, the backroom effect was nice, the Dead by Day was good, the portal stuff good, Funny Club Penguin, LeBron from Fortnite, loading screens are getting quite long, Ink Overflow copied the director booth from last year. I like it, but it feels old. Well, it is a year old, but that's not what I mean. I feel there's more outstanding things you could do with Rec Room now. In some cases, is a good thing, and it only shows an uphill of stuff, not just in CV2, but in user creation in general. But when I see people like Pow use the same booth for the 3rd year straight, it makes me feel that people aren't utilizing these tools. Everything just kind of blends in with each other. All the Expo Halls, all of them, blend in. And 25 rooms may sound fun or really tiresome, Oh, it's fun. Do you wanna know why? Because I'm in this year's RecCon. Let's go! Best RecCon! And yes, this is all I had to say about the Expo Halls. I had that little things to say about the bloody Expo Halls. They are nothing. They all blend into each other. They all the exact same as last year's. Events. I actually did go to some events, so I have a say if it's good or bad. Wow. It's fine. It's fine. This is all fine. That's the only thing I could say about this year's RecCon. It's fine. I will give it this. It is the best thing in RecCon. I still have my problems with it. You know how event times are annoying in the funny queenless land that is the UK. There was a decent amount of Rec Room studio info at least. That was nice. It was alright. It was a solid recreation of Inside, but it just made me want to watch the original. I think it would be better if there was more Rec Room related jokes. They did do that in some instances. Also, white British guys are better. RecCon keynote with Gribbly. Right, this is where it gets interesting. More than 82 million plays in Rec Room, which is not a good thing. A small moderation update, which is very nice to hear. They have rolled voice moderation to every Rec Room original. The park is now dead due to this. And voice moderation will eventually come to every room. Doesn't matter if it's Rec Room original or player created. You will not have that little child calling you a slur. That being a good or bad thing is up to you. But they don't store anything. Also, the voice moderation won't run in private instances. So keep your N-word screaming in there, I guess. They also talked about the PC launch, which I actually think is a bit useless. There's no real reason to switch to that version. Actually, there's more incentive for you to get the Steam version, as you actually get to see your game time, and you also got Steam friends to piss about with. I guess I know why they've made it. They want more money. The way Rec Room is making money with this PC launch is they bypass the Steam cut whenever they make a transaction, so all the money goes to them. There's a new Rec Room PC giveaway. Did I enter? Yes. Will I win? No. Nice specs though, I'll give it that. New Rec Room original information. But wait, showdown information. The Rec Room original, I don't like. The Rec Room original, I will make a video on eventually. Just give me a second. The game chips are very, very nice. I'm just gonna be waiting until they get out of beta. I don't even know if they're in beta. I haven't even checked CV2. The next Rec Room original will be a team-based mode, Dead by Daylight 4v1 type stuff, with a whole progression system with XP and stuff. I'm thinking the Rec Royale Battle Pass, but actually good.
Lastly, it's gonna have a very spooky atmosphere.
Rec Room Studio was announced, a way to make Rec Room rooms with the Unity editor by complementing existing in-game tools. You'll also be able to import 3D models and make better terrain. My first question is, how are they gonna get ink translated into this? And all of this is coming soon. How do you trademark the words coming soon? This is gonna be a new Halloween room by the Haunt Society? My first word seeing this was just, who? They say there's over 300 rooms and panels and workshops, etc, etc. I say this again, isn't much of a good thing. This is probably the most important event to get out of RecCon, as you actually get to know what the upcoming Rec Room original is, and you also get to see how many people are wasting their lives on Rec Room. Creative Club Program. The start was nice with the creative clubs explaining how to enroll in a class, how to make a class, what you gain from enrolling or making, you know, things like the gowns, the makeup pen skins, and growing an organization. They also talk about the makeup pen class, the rec room gallery, the workshops, lots of info on making classes, example, how to find your skill to teach others, how to keep your class successful, etc, etc. If you don't know much about creative clubs and you're also intrigued on what I just said, I recommend watching the event for yourself. But when they get to the Q&A part, they only say the answers most of the time, so you have no context on what they're saying. Sometimes you can either guess or they quite literally say the question. The other times, you have no idea. It's good nonetheless, I'll give it that. Video partners in RecCon part 2. It was actually a really fun watch. It was really nice hearing the origins of these lot. Just watch Snail's stream on it. It was a Rec Room made event that was actually funny. Wow. Game design with Rec Room designers. I watched this event with my girlfriend. I feel really bad for her. Marissa's mic didn't work. That means a lot of waiting. You needed to leave and join back to actually hear her. This told us why Rec Room avatars don't have arms and legs. It's actually the same reason why people didn't like the ears when they came out back in 2020. They looked weird and even unsettling for some, and the devs didn't want the Rec Room avatars to hit the uncanny valley with arms and legs, so they decided to go with no arms and legs. They did indeed tell us there is going to be limitations with Rec Room Studio, as anyone would have guessed, but they haven't worked out exactly what they want limited and how. Also, the Rec Room Studio rollout will be
slow and careful.
But that's really it. If you really want all the info from the event, go to the event. So to sum it up, so the art exhibit, the Souvenir Hall, the AFK room, that stuff, it's bad. There's no need for it type bad. The Expo Halls were the events were fun. Altogether, I'm sick of it. I was gonna make my booth a way of showing that Rec Room has no real quality control. But then I started caring a bit too much. It still looks quite bad, so you could still use it as an example of the game's bad quality control. You may ask, why quality control in a little baby game? Rec Room, specifically Gribbly, you know, the creative director of Rec Room, believes that Rec Room is for all ages. In AMA 31, he quite literally says,
well, let me state for the record, as an adult, you are most welcome in Rec Room. So if you're feeling alienated, that is not our intention, and I apologize.
How the requirement to play Rec Room on a normal account is 13 years of age. But we both damn well know that children still make normal accounts instead of settling with juniors. But back to the argument at hand, quality control is important. As this game has more than 81 million players, you can now see why I'm saying that it's not a good thing. For social events, yeah, sure, in some cases it is a good thing, but for creative events it doesn't really work, as you have people wanting to be part of this big event but they don't really know how to use the makeup pen, or just don't know how to make an appealing booth that also fills all of the booth space, but also know how to cut down on ink without removing any important details or just details in general. Do you really think my booth was in the 11% ink maximum right from the start? No, it took me so many variations and so many ink saving techniques just to whittle it down to 11. It's simple stuff. It's making things decoration. It's merging things together. Hell, with the bucket monster, I even removed the bases of the arms and leg buckets so there would be more ink. I even made an invention combining all of my Minecraft inventions together to save more ink. My point is, a new player might not know how to do these things because, you know, they're new. They should be encouraged to test these things out and see what works best on their own time. Hell, even enrolling a class we were just talking about if it's really needed. But don't do it in RecCon. I understand if you want to test your ability in creating, then next year around to see your improvement. Something that some creators need to do instead of copy pasting. And there, those two factors, the lack of quality control and copy pasting, makes this year's RecCon bad. All of the good stuff is the same as last year's with exceptions, and all the new stuff is bad with exceptions. I've already made this segment way too damn long. My main ending point is Rec Room. If you want RecCon to become this big event, which I can tell you do from just the trailers alone, remove the fluff, the art exhibit, the cosplay park. Please remove the cosplay park. It only brings me pain. The Souvenir Hall can be a worthwhile addition. If only one room, it can be filled out with tons of inventions. Or, like I said, make decorations to fill the massive gap. Hell, if you really want to, add a feature for inventions for a limited time option, where an invention is only obtainable between this time and that time. Whoever got said invention would keep it, and whoever published said invention keeps it on their portfolio. But like a limited cosmetic item, it would say out of stock or something like that. The Expo Halls, like I've said, need more quality controls, and the events are... they're fine as is, I guess. Keynote was important to see what it was in the future of Rec Room as a whole, but unfortunately most people don't even know the keynote covers that type of stuff. Just like the last 2 years, RecCon this year being good is just debatable. The final thing I'll say is I feel stupid for saying I can't wait for next year's RecCon if it has this level of improvement. Back in 2021. What a lot, my penguiners.